The new world open beta is out. Everybody's playing. We got what 3 and 70% days to play the game. In this video, I want to go over like the what changed from before, from closed beta to now, and see like what's different and like what direction the game is heading. So yeah, let's get into this. Fixed instances of boss encounters failing to begin or restart their encounters in multiple expeditions. That oh my god, there was a time where in Amrine we decided, which is like the first expedition, we lost and we ended up back in the beginning. But then the boss just wouldn't start, and like what happened? What's happening is we had to like start the whole thing again, and apparently that's not like intended behavior. So they fixed that. Thank you. Smooth the access points to ship flags on the starter beaches. That's pretty good. I know that like sometimes it was hard to get to like certain areas on the boats. Increased interact range on the ship flags and the starter beaches. Yeah, like it was harder to get to those flags and like complete that quest. Like sometimes people fell off. Sometimes people just didn't know how to get there. Improved spawn rates through the world at locations that were bottlenecking players on the same quests and missions. Thank you, yo. The sheep. You hopefully you can actually find sheep now. There was like a quest in Everfall that you were supposed to get like three sheep or like one sheep or something, and you just couldn't find it. They don't exist. It's ridiculous. So I'm glad they fixed that. Improved lighting of starting beaches at night to be less dark. Thank you. I had so much trouble like seeing things. I think they have to still fix the ones like in caves because I still can't see anything in caves like when it's dark. I have to like put up the brightness all the way to the top, all the way to the max, and I can't even see anything anyways. Maybe I just need a better screen, but they should fix that for people who have bad screens. My screen is pretty decent anyways. Fix multiple quests across the world that were causing bottlenecks due to large amounts of players attempting the same objectives. Multiple quests. Thank you. They needed to do this. Fix issues where players could become locked while interacting with certain lore notes. That's weird. I never seen that happen to me, and I've picked up a lot of lore notes, but I'm glad that they fixed that. Updated text description for a pleasant task to direct players to the correct watchtower. I don't know what that is. If somebody knows, again, leave it in the comment down below. I don't know what quest that is. Fix instances where AI could respawn limitlessly for certain quests. I don't know, man. Limitless AI sounds like a good farm to me, but if it was an issue, it was an issue. Tech fixed various town mission exploits. Town mission exploits. Like what? The town board? I know that they fixed some things further down with the town board, but what could it have that have been? Green, yellow, and red placement validations are now shown in the decorating when decorating homes. Well, for me, I didn't really get to decorate homes too much, so I don't know too much about that. Fixed issue where VFX for root containers were missing under high load. Yeah, like I know that for like some quests, if you like, let's say you have to like get like a soil sample, those soil samples in Windsward, you you couldn't see them. Where were the soil? There was no like model to show like soil, and the way that they did it is that they show like a glowing blue or something, like the ground is glowing blue, but that didn't pop up. So maybe that's what they're talking about here. Fixed circumstances where certain NPCs would be invisible before interacting with them. Oh yeah, I know that when there's a quest, the guy I don't know what his name is, but the guy who's fishing who gives you the Azov staff in Windsward, he sends you to Brightwood to or like North Everfall, one of those places, to talk to some lady near the mines, right? And she's like in her own little like enclosed area. But if you aren't close enough to her, so you can't see her. But once you get close enough, it's like, oh, here she is. She appears. So maybe that's what they're talking about. Not sure, but if they fixed it, they fixed it. General AI increased damage scaling for AI above level 50 and above. Gradual scaling from 0% up to 25% at level 66. I guess they made um mobs harder to kill later in the game. I don't know if people were complaining about that things were too easy. increased health scaling of AI above level 30, gradual scaling from 0% up to 50% on level 66. Okay, makes it after level 30, you make it a little harder. That combined with the XP changes later on that we'll talk about, I think that makes like leveling a little harder, like a few percentages harder. Open world non boss elites. Increased health and damage to bring them more in line with expedition difficulty enemies. This is multiplicative with the change noted in general AI. Okay. So those people, I don't know, that was one in Cutlass Keys. I saw a video about that guy, but I didn't. He's like, but I didn't really like actually do that boss. There's a boss out in Cutlass Keys, like in the open, and he's guarding some chests, and like they're rare chests, like they contain rare loot, and apparently they made him harder. It was, I heard that it was already harder. It was already hard for to kill him. So we'll see. Um, increase damage of all non-boss open world elite AI by 12 to 17%. So they're making the game harder. Increase health of elite AI plus corrupted ogres, corrupted bears, etc. by 60%. Elite plus AI by 60%. Again, harder to kill, but maybe it just takes longer to kill. Not that it's like, more skill intensive or, you know, open world arena bosses increased health and damage to bring them more in line with exposition difficulty enemies. I don't know what arena bosses are, but again, they made everything harder. More mobs are harder to kill. Increased damage for all expedition AI by 13%. Okay, so once you go into expeditions, starting at Amory, they're gonna do a lot more damage. Healers are gonna be more important. Maybe this is to compensate with the increased healing that um they gave to healers that we'll see later down in the patch notes. Notable bug fixes. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Player in general, players may no longer transfer boss status effects back to the boss through the use of contagious reverse stab perk. I don't know what weapon had that, but if you were able to do that because boss status effects were pretty hefty, giving it back to the boss will give you a big advantage. So, and maybe that wasn't intended. Resolved several leashing bugs that allowed players to kill a guy from unreachable positions. Yeah, there was a time where like I think he was either alligators or like lynxes. Yeah, I think resolved several leashing bugs that allowed players to kill AI from unreachable positions. I think there was, I don't know what it was, but it was alligators or lynxes that you got up in a high enough place, and like they say, you shot down with a musket or like a bow or whatever ranged weapon, and they just couldn't reach you, and you just killed them for free, basically. You know. So the fact that they fixed that, hey, okay. Resolve several leash. Resolve the bug preventing dynasty trainees from damaging the player. I don't know what those are, so we're gonna skip that for now. Arena the Spriggan. I don't know what the Spriggan is, so we're gonna skip that. And I haven't been into any arenas in closed beta, so I don't know what that is. So Expedition, the deaths. Okay, so combat, PvP scaling. Okay, this is an important one. PvP scaling has been reduced. The level difference will matter more in your encounters, meaning that it will take more hits for a lower level player to kill a higher level player, and less hit for a higher level player to kill a lower level player. I don't know how to feel about this. When I was playing the closed beta, I like the fact that it was very even. When I was fighting people that are higher level than me, I was like level 30 and they were level 60. It was kind of like even. They still won most of the time because they had a like perks advantage and like weapon advantage and stuff like that. But sometimes I won and it felt nice. But this, like, it was very close before, but now this, it makes the gap a little wider. I was playing earlier and I don't know, I was level 14 and a level 19 was like in front of me. I just had to avoid them. I didn't want to fight it because I don't know if I don't know like the PV because the PvP scaling would just, it wouldn't be in my favor. I guess you could only like fight people. It's more important for you to if you want to have a fair fight to fight people who are of equal level to you. But I don't know people who rush the game and then come back to lower level areas and just feed on people who are lower level. I don't know how I feel about that. Hopefully they give incentives for more incentives for higher level people to stay in higher level areas and not come down to like lower level areas. But the way that it's set up right now is that towns get upgraded over time. They from the beginning they are upgraded. And let's say like you need like a tier 5 station and it's only like let's say in Windsor where everybody's like level 12, you're gonna have to go down there, and if you flag or other people flag, you just kill them really easy. I don't see like it doesn't seem like that's very fun. So I don't know how to feel about it yet. So attribute threshold bonus, reduce constitution, 250 attribute threshold bonus, damage reduction. What? Reduce constitution, 250 attribute threshold bonus damage reduction bonus from 80% to 6. What? What? How do you read that? Threshold bonus, damage reduction bonus, bruh. Anyways, yeah, Constitution nerf. I like it. Constitution was too good. Awesome. Warhammer reduce hardened steel damage reduction bonus from 20% to 15%. I see. I've been seeing this. I've been seeing this as a trend where they've been lowering defenses overall. So I guess this is just to keep that Warhammer in line with that. I heard that the sword was buffed. So let's see. Freeing Justice passive now only removes a single debuff, not all debuffs. That's a nerf. I mean, sometimes you only need to remove one debuff, right? Like we can even check. Okay. Wow. It doesn't exist. They lied to us. Anyways, I don't know what freeing justice is. Fortitude has been replaced by invigorating bulwark. This passive will grant 15 stamina on hit. With the shield bash and shield rush abilities. I guess that's good because it fits the sword better, the sword and shield, because you gain stamina to block. Leaping strike, starter frames reduced from 16 to 14. That's pretty good. It's a faster attack now. Leaping distance increased from 4 to 6. Okay, now I think now it might feel like an actual leap because I think 4 is just dodge is a distance of a dodge. So now it's like a dodge and a half. So it might actually feel like a leap. That's pretty good. Counterattack has been modified to be able to stack and obtain a better bonus. It now grants 3% empower for 5 seconds when blocking an attack. That's pretty good. So that when you block, you gain more damage and can stack up to 5 times for a max of 15 empower bonus, 15% empower bonus. Previously, it would have gotten 10% empower for 20 seconds after blocking an attack. And can stack up to 5 times. Okay, so basically what you want to do now is block for longer, right? You want to take a lot of attacks in a short period of time, and then you want to attack again. You want to attack them with the empower, which lasts for a shorter time. So it's like it's different. It's not a buff or a nerf, but it's different. Life stat, sacred protection passive, change to grant 5% increased incoming healing efficiency to all group members. Used to grant additional max HP. That's pretty good. Nobody took this because like why would you give somebody maybe the paladin build, they gave them 10% more HP. But now you give people 5% more healing, which I think people might take more because that's what people are doing most of the time, you know, they're healing. It's less effective HP because it's like 5% less, but over a longer period of time, it would technically be more. So mostly a buff. They needed to nerf life staff, but I like this. Reduce effectiveness of overprotection fortify from 15% to 10%. Yeah, we'll see where the life staff is. Where the life staff is. Like in my opinion, it was a little overtuned, so maybe this will be enough, but we'll definitely see. Berserk duration reduced to 12 seconds, and the cooldown has been increased to 18 seconds. Straight up nerf. Hatchet, I don't know. Berserk in closed beta was just too good. Everybody was just using it all the time. It was like, oh, before it was 15 seconds cooldown and 15 seconds duration. So basically they made it last 3 seconds less and made it the cooldown last 3 seconds longer. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if people are still gonna run Hatchet because the Hatchet was really only good at one thing, and I think it was a very like very slightly overtuned weapon in terms of Berserk, but like very underpowered in terms of its other abilities. So we'll see if people think that having Berserk is impactful enough for like 12 seconds to, run a hatchet. Berserking refresh now heals 10% every 4 seconds, while Berserk is active to a max of 30% health. Was every 5 seconds for a max of 35%. Okay, so you gain the health more frequently, but you you gain a little less health. I think that's a better trade-off um since now you can like actually take more damage, I guess, up front for like a second more. Like you take you take you take a little bit more damage up front, and that's I guess it's more of a burst heal than like a heal over time with this change. Like ever so slightly, but it's still more leaning in that direction than anything else. So the Great Axe. Reduce effectiveness of gravity well. Reduced effectiveness of gravity well, unyielding fortify upgrade from 15% to 10%. So again, they're reducing. So reduced Great Axe enduring strike damage reduction bonus from 10% to 15%. Enduring strike damage reduction bonus. So again, they're lowering how many defenses people get from buffs. Second hit of Reap no longer has stagger on it. Okay, so I guess this is kind of, in my opinion, the Great X was too good. Maybe I don't know, like with the bug though, but with the bug, it just put it like over the edge, right? It was just crazy and needed to be nerfed. And the reason why is because Great Axe does a lot of things, and I don't really see the weaknesses. Like it has movement, it has CC, it has damage, right? It has like basically everything that you would want. And I guess that they're nerfing their CC and like keeping its damage. So I guess this is a slight nerf, and we'll see where the Great Axe sits. I think that it'll still be like a great weapon. So reduce the effectiveness of bow unbreakable focus for fortify passive from 20% to 10%. Again, bringing everything in line. Anything that has fortify, anything that has defenses, bringing it in line to 10%. Chain perks. Reduce the number of times a chain perks chained to another target from 5 to 3. Nerf. Crazy nerf. I don't know if like this was like any good because I was using the chain stuff at the earlier levels and it really didn't do much damage. But later in the game, I wanted to see if it did a lot of damage. Apparently, it does too much damage, so much so that they had to nerf it. Chain elemental perks only trigger off basic attacks, light and heavy, and have a 2-second cooldown. They nerfed it even more so that the damage output is way lower. And So I guess that weapons that you have that chain damage are pretty bad now, or they're that much worse. So we'll we'll see where these weapons sit. I think that people are gonna value uh weapon ability perks more. So we'll see. Equip load updates. This is a good one. The 20% damage increase for light equip load and the 10% damage increase for medium equip load should also affect the healing output of the character. Healing is reduced by 20% to account for this. We want the best healer to be in light gear. Oh, I misread this. So when you're in light gear, you have you basically heal the same amount. When you're in medium gear, you heal 10% less, and when you're in heavy, you heal 20% less. Reduce the medium equip load threshold from 15 to 13 and heavy threshold from 30 to 23. This makes it so that I think you have to wear all light armor or only one medium for you to still be in light. And you have to wear like mostly medium to be in still medium while wearing like, let's say, like one heavy piece of gear. I really liked it because I really like this change because people before they were it just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to go light armor. But now the classes are more rigid. You're more intentional about it. If you're light, you're light. If you're medium, you're medium. If you're heavy, you're heavy. Right? Some people were saying that they wanted the class system to be a little more fluid, but in my opinion, everybody being medium just is not the definition of like fluid, you know. So this is a great change in my opinion. Armor normalizes the weight protection ratios, physical elemental balance within each armor class. I think this is pretty good. I think this means that they made the weight scale more linearly with armor, or like the armor scale more linearly with weight. So it's more of a 1-to-1 than a curve, you know? So I guess this buffs light armor. I don't know. We'll see. But I guess this is good. Increase the armor provided by chest pieces and reduce the amount provided by helmets. Yeah, helmets were honestly pretty good. I think they were better than like feet and hands. And I guess chest pieces become even more important because they give the most armor. Slightly increase the armor granted by balanced ratios to match the total armor provided by physical and elemental ratios. I don't know where balanced ratios are. Reduce the weight of round and kite shields. So maybe people who are using a sword and shield are gonna opt in for more rounded or kite shields. But the problem with this is that if you're going tank, sword and shield, you are probably already in heavy, so the weight of a shield doesn't really matter. So we'll see how this plays out. I think this change doesn't really matter, but we'll see. Reduce the damage bonus against creature families from 6%, 8% to 10%, and 8% to 3, 4, and 5%. See, I guess that's like less of an incentive to like actually own a house and like, put furniture in it. But my whole thing is that they should really have this information in game because it's not very clear what these bonuses are going to give you. Clamping of power and fortify buffs. Potions will now be included in the clamping of the empower and fortify buffs. 15% max. So yeah, they at a certain point, I think coming into the closed beta, they said that fortify can only go up to 50% max. So basically, you can only have 50% fortify, giving you 50% damage reduction. If potions give you are also like capped at this, that means that perhaps before you were able to go above this cap by also drinking potions. I guess this is their design direction. So I guess having a cap is like better for balancing. So elemental damage consumable updated duration from 3 minutes to 30 seconds. From 3 minutes to 30 seconds. Okay, that's an omega nerf. Wait, updated the effect of consumable from 10%, 15%, 25% to 9, 12, and 15%. Omega nerf. I don't know what the elemental damage consumables it was. Maybe they give you more damage, but you are no longer getting that damage for the same amount of time. It's way less. I don't even think if they were that good, I don't even think you use it anymore. I think it's like late game if you need to like maximize your damage, like every little bit counts. But you would not use this, I don't think, in any other situation. Omega Nerf. So creature family absorption consumables updated duration from 5 minutes to 20 seconds. Huh? Well, it's like it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the game. Updated amount of hits player can take when using creature family consumables from 10, 15, 20 to 5, 10, 15. This doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's not in the game. Updated the effect of creature family consumables from 20%, 35%, 50% to 5%, 10%, and 15%. Set all absorption consumables to have an 120-second shared cooldown. God, not in the game. I don't think people will use this anymore. 20 seconds? You need so many potions just to keep it up for like a good amount of time. Like, let's say for like a boss fight or something. Uh, Oak Flesh Balm and Gemstone Dust Consumables. Updated the duration of Oak Flesh Balm and Gemstone Dust Consumables from 5 minutes to 30 seconds. Yeah, it's not in the game. None of these things are in the game. Siege turrets. Increased explosive cannon damage. And people were saying that this needed a nerf. They buffed it. Capped repeater max damage fall off at 90% instead of 100. The repeater damage fall off now starts at 80 meters instead of siege weapons. Siege weapons damage is now being mitigated by armor. Okay. That's good. They nerfed the damage. Siege weapons increase damage by 20%. I thought people were saying this is crazy. I watched a Shroud play New World and he was like, these cannons and these siege turrets just wreck you. So we'll have to see how people feel about this. Because I think they're going in the opposite direction. I mean, I heard some people say that like siege turrets didn't do any damage. So we'll see. Maybe this is like not in a war. This is just in like an invasion or something. But I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's like they said, let's go this way. We said let's go this way. They said let's go that way. I don't know. Um, Lifestyle buff reduce the effectiveness of arcane blessing lifestyle. Buff corrupted enemy absorption. Yo, can I read today? Reduced effectiveness of arcane blessing lifestyle buff corrupted enemy absorption from 20%. Maybe you did more damage to these people and now you do less damage. It's an MMO, I guess. Perks. Fortified recovery effectiveness reduced from 30% to 10%. Fortified. They're reducing it. They're just reducing it. Kingly fortified. Reduce from 30 to 10%. Moral fortification. Yep. Anything that's fortified, reduce it to 10%, please. Thank you. Healing potion. Increase base health gain from health potions. From 160, 300, 650, 1200, 1800 to a little bit more. So 200, 400, 900, 1600, and 2400. And increase the amount of health gained from the potions base percentage. Oh, decreased from their max from 15% to 7%. I wonder what that does. I wonder what they were trying to do with this. You know what it is? You know what I think it is? I think it is that Constitution was broken, right? You have so much health, you could use a weak potion and gain so much of your health back, right? or so much like effective health. Like think about it. If you have 10,000 health and you gain 15, that's like 1,500 health, right? If I'm doing my math correctly. But now it's like 700. But before, and how much do you lose, right? You lost like 800 and you gained what? 600. So basically a 200 nerf. A 200 health nerf. So yeah, I think that's a good change. If you're nerfing Constitution, by all means, go ahead. Increase base health for regeneration for potions from 30, 65, 120, 180 to 40, 90, 160, and 240, and decrease amount of health gain per second from regen potions base percentage. Yeah, so same deal. Same deal. They just nerfing Constitution, or they're nerfing health. Nerfing. Endurance potions. Remove endurance potions from the alchemy crafting station. This item has been removed from the game. I don't know what endurance potions. Oh, endurance potions? Is it like stamina gain or something? I don't know what they did, but I had somebody earlier on stream talking to me about how, like, I was having a bug where I was permanently in an exhausted state, so I couldn't like dodge or like block or use my stamina in any way. And he was telling me, "Oh, use these potions," but these potions aren't in the game anymore. So we'll definitely see how they're gonna fix that. They also removed respawn from the game. Like you can't respawn, and they limited campfires, like the range to 500 meters. So like you can't like respawn farm anymore. So I don't know how to fix that bug anymore, where you're permanently in an exhausted state. But we'll see. We'll see if they remove from the game. Amber Gem, yeah, Omega Nerf. Reduce the damage scaling obtained from the Amber Gem nature when putting attributes into focus by 20% to make the healer secondary weapon a bit less powerful in terms of raw damage. Output for focus build. So now it's like 30% instead of 50. That's pretty good. I heard that the Void Gauntlet is gonna be also be focused int. So I mean focus int. So I think they want to like not have the Void Gauntlet hit with as much like potency when the game comes out, or when it gets released later. Attribute threshold bonuses. Adjusted the strength 50, 100, and 150 attribute threshold bonuses to prevent the damage bonus from being applied to elemental melee attacks. If it will only apply to physical damage. This is to prevent doubling up on the bonuses when using elemental conversion gems with those attributes. So it's a little bit of a nerf, but I really don't understand how like those when how these elemental gems work, because sometimes like people were saying that it's about like it adds damage. Other people were saying, oh no, it just converts damage, potentially doing more damage to certain people. That's what I think, but I don't know if this is like a nerf or a buff. War, small deployables, infernal traps, party kegs now have shared deployment limit of 15 per team. Okay, they were like too powerful. I heard Shroud saying something like, "Oh, people just get this and then they go ham. They get this infinite amount of these, and he's win the war, right?" So it's good that they nerfed it. They put a limit on that. Nice. And notable bug fixes. Is it over yet? Oh no, we have a little bit left. So notable bug fixes: movement speed increase, fixed issues with players having a permanent speed buff applied to them. Nice. I saw this where like from like the war or something. When people come back from war, they just have permanent movement speed, and it never went away until they like left the game or something. So that's pretty good. Movement speed decreases. Fixed issue where move speed could not be slowed by more than 10%. I've never seen that bug, but pretty good. Stuck on the loading screen, fixed issue where players can get stuck in infinite loading screen and respawn at random starter beach if they die before getting to the watchtower respawn point. Okay, that's pretty good. Lifestyle speed of light upgrade now functions. Before it didn't function. Let's actually look at what that is. Let's see. Let's get into lifestyle. Speed of what? Speed of speed of light. When beacon heals a target, it also applies 20% haste for 3 seconds. Oh, that wasn't working? Interesting. Life staff buff. Jump. You are not able to jump in an exhausted state. Pretty good. Uh Small quality of life change. Attribute threshold bonus. 250 constitution bonus should now have 60-second cooldown. If it didn't have a 60-second cooldown, nerf the constitution. Thank you very much. Constitution bonus should now only reduce damage from all critical hits, not all hits. Maybe this is why constitution was mega broken. But we'll see how it plays out. But constitution nerf, A-OK in my book. Rewards from duels, players should no longer be able to get PvP rewards during duels. Yo, I should have done that during the beta then. Life staff, mending touch. Sword leadership passive no longer persists after leaving the group. Wait, that's which one is that one? This one? While holding the sword, all group members' damage is increased by 10%. Huh. That's pretty good now that it works well. Life staff. Mending touch no longer removes all debuffs, so keeping it in line with the sword. Magnify ultimate now extends buff durations. Reduce damage to all allies. Wait, what? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Life staff. When you heal an ally, extend life staff buffs by 2 seconds. That wasn't buff. Omega buff. That wasn't working before. Life Inspire will now increase stamina. Omega buff. Heavy pull passive no longer causes the heavy attack to hit twice. Thank you. Bringing the Great Axe in line. Enduring Strike now reduces the damage, or will reduce damage by 20%. Okay, pretty good. You're buffing it in other areas, basically. And I know these are bug fixes, but still. Deep Strike upgrades will no longer increase damage on penetrating. Deep Strike upgrade will no longer increase damage on penetrating shot. Deep Strike upgrade will only increase damage on penetrating shot, not all attacks. Nice. Okay. When using swap active keybind on your weapon, ability wheel will now toggle when swapping weapons. Wait. This is important for animation canceling. When using swap active weapons keybind, your weapon ability wheel will now toggle when swapping weapons. Okay, you can actually like see the weapons now. Swapping. They're talking about, I think it's this thing right here. You can actually see it swapping. I think. When using Contagious Reverse Backstab perk, damage over time attacks that are transferred to the other players will now cause damage. Pretty good. That didn't work before? Oh my god. Falling. Fix issue that would cause you to fall faster. Fix issue that would cause you to go into fall state while navigating downstairs. And thank you. Oh my god. Let's test this out. Let's test it out. Oh, that's so good. I remember somebody was like talking about it. Is like, what are you guys doing with your life? Like, this bug shouldn't exist, but thank God they fixed that. Encumber navigation. Fix jitter navigation animations when becoming encumbered. There was a point where if you were encumbered, you can actually move like slightly faster than normal. Like not slow at all, just like actually glitch through the world and like move slightly faster. It was kind of funny, but it was a crazy bug. Fix many crashes. Hardy perk. Fishing. Fix the camera snapping and rotation that could occur during fishing. There was a point in the closed beta where like if you fished, it crashed your game. It just crashed. You threw the line. That's it. Get out the game because it's frozen. Ice pylon health should now be blue. Pretty good. Lifestyle Inspire upgrade now functions. Mending touch passive no longer removes all defense, only one. Wait, did they do it twice? They did. Cannons. Attacker cannons can be attacked during upgrade process during wars. They are nerfing attackers. I thought it was hard to attack. Slash of Light will only heal group members as intended. Oh, before there was a point where you would heal anybody in a radius around you, and the radius was huge. So in a war, you press Splash of Light, you heal the entire everybody in the war. Your healing was through the roof. Thank God they fixed this. That was one of the reasons why Lifestaff was overpowered. Hatches stay back passive and all plays correctly, 25% slow for 4 seconds. That didn't happen before? Oh my god. Okay, Hatch does better in other areas. Oh, fixed? Okay, this is an important one. Fixed for animation canceling, causing both to shoot faster than intended. That you were able to somebody told me on stream that you were able to hit fire, then aim and then shoot and then use an ability to get off 3 shots in like less than a second. Ridiculous. Ice Gauntlet Ice Gauntlet Ultimate Shield should now apply debuff and increase damage taken by enemies by 35% for 3 seconds as intended. Okay, that's a good fix. And maybe the Ice Gauntlet would actually feel good. Empower Strike should now apply increased damage when target is below 30% as intended. Okay, the Ice Gauntlet does more damage. Refreshing Spike should now give a cooldown reduction as intended, where defenders can no longer use a respawn option to spawn at the rally point before the war has started. Broken. Thank God they fixed this. Damage conversion gem fixed bugged where the intellect attribute threshold bonuses were being applied twice when using a damage conversion gem. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, maybe maybe this is why people were talking about like, oh, it's being increased, but in reality, it shouldn't be. Okay, let's see. Added a tier 4 and tier 5 Azoth staff. Pretty cool. Maybe that's a little more content. Reduced XP for town projects. Yeah, town projects are not the way to level. They're like if you actually want to get the tier 4, the tier 3, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 crafting tables because everything is reduced by half, like, or at least 25%. 25% for raw materials, 30% for refined materials. Crafting armaments turned in by 50%, and provision turns in by 50%. Just don't even do the town quest in my opinion. So it's not even worth it. It's like if you have something to give, and like pass by and be like, oh, I have this already, but don't go out of your way. Honestly, it's not even worth it. XP required to level at lower levels has been reduced by a small amount. That's pretty good. You level faster. XP required to level from 10 to 20 has been reduced by a medium amount. That's really good because there was a point from like level 20, yeah, from level 20 to 30, where it's just an XP draw. It's like you can't level up. It's like, what do you do, right? So that's pretty good. But combined with the stuff that we saw earlier, well, that mobs are harder to kill, it's gonna be a little bit harder to level past 30. Reduce the faction granted per mission for PvP missions in Monarch Bluffs, Cutlass Keys, Morningdale to account for their shorter travel times. That's pretty good. They're taking into consideration um faction missions and like how fast people do them and making like the territories balanced in terms of that, because then people, oh, if you want to do faction missions, you wouldn't go to like, let's say, Windsward because Windsward is garbage. You would go to Monarch's Bluff because that's the best one. That's the fastest way to do it. Now everybody's like equal. Um, Remove the recipe endurance potions. Yeah, we saw that. Rewards increase the drop rate of named items from expeditions bosses. That's pretty good. Adjusted the perks on many named weapons in an effort to better distribute perk availability on named weapons while making more of them feel unique and will synergize. That's really good. That makes named weapons a lot better. Normalize the perks of all faction and weapons and armor. The change made lower level faction armor give crit damage and defense instead of cooldown reduction. Okay, so that means that like later on, everybody's gonna have unique faction armor or whatever, but in the earlier levels, faction armor is balanced. Because before there was really no point in like going anything but syndicate since the faction armor was just better. Increased cost of all faction armor and weapons, so now they are actually like worth it to get, and that's a buff to crafting because maybe crafting is now easier to get relatively, and people will want to get crafted things instead of like just buying from the place from the armor place. Remove the socketed gems from all faction armor. So the faction armor is like worth less, but now you get to like, if you want a gem, you get to put a gem in it. If you have a gem, you just put it in. This doesn't like change like reduce the gear score. So they just makes it a little worse. The faction equipment just made it a little worse. Fixed an issue that could cause fishing hotspot locations to be visibly cold, which would make them exceptionally difficult to find. But that's pretty good because I had a lot of trouble finding fishing spots. And yeah, we have a lot of smaller bug fixes. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, join the Discord, follow me on social media. Got Twitter, Instagram. Join the streams. We'll be streaming New World very frequently. I don't know my schedule yet, but